Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. It is time for another edition of Best Teams on Global. This is the April 2023 edition. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And to be honest with you, I was going to skip this month because generally speaking, not much happened. Yes, we had the introduction of the Dokkan Festival exclusive Yamcha, as you can see on the screen here, some easy A's, but overwhelmingly it didn't change the top rankings, to say the least. Now, actually, there is going to be a change in one of the spots, but generally speaking, it wasn't all that that game changing, right? So anyway, we'll dive into this. This will be a shorter video, hopefully, and let's go ahead and just quickly start with the term best teams, is my opinion, and it's purely subjective. There is no official tier list or best teams ranking from Akatsuki or Bandai. How I build my teams: leader skill, damage, defense, special skills, bench strength is very important, overall gameplay, game mode effectiveness. How I look at game mode effectiveness: we're still looking at Cell Max as the cream of the crop, hardest event in the global version of the game. And of course, then we have the red zones, extreme super battle roads, etc., etc. So I mentioned before, last month this was the rankings here, and again, not much has changed. There's one spot that has, and I'll talk about that in a second. But one thing that I was planning on doing this month but still haven't gotten to it is what I'm calling the Great Merge, and we're just not quite there yet, and I should have done it because again, there's not much that changed this month. But when I talk about the Great Merge, I'm talking about merging two particular units to teams together, and that's superheroes and movie bosses, and that would open up 3 more other spots that I could fit in the top 10. But again, we just haven't done that quite yet. So let's go ahead and at least start off with the honorable mention. So the honorable mention for this month is actually Team Bardock, which was actually the number 10 spot last month. So this one dropped out of the 10th spot because of a multitude of different things. One particular team ended up taking that spot, and it's very similar to this team, being that this is going to be a very Goku heavy team, being that's Goku family and Pure Saiyans, just like the number 10 team. And let's just go ahead and dive into the top 10. So the top 10, starting in number 10, is actually the Yamcha team. The Yamcha team did crack into the top 10 here, again, being that it is going to be Goku focused. Now, I'm showing you here a team that we're not using primarily Gokus, right? And generally speaking, you're going to run Yamcha off rotation. But you can run Piccolo at 170%. And you can run EZA Gohan on here at 170%. So it's really tip-top teams run those units. But because they're running 170%, I do have them, of course, at the number 10 spot. If you're going to run more of the 200% typing and lead, you're going to run mostly Gokus, right? Gokus are 200%, Earthbred Fighters, and then Turtle School. And then, of course, Yajirobe is one of the best support units in the game, thus giving this a little bit more of an advantage, being that Yajirobe is not on many teams. Again, you're running Yamchas as floater positions, being that these Gokus, I would say, would probably be better overall, you know, links wise and things of that nature, with the other top end Gokus like the Carnival Goku, and then of course the new Physical Godku. Now, if you do want to run Yamcha in the main rotation, you're probably going to bring like Kid Goku as part of the rotation, and then Gohan Link's probably the best. Bring a double support or even a triple support team. In this case, I just brought Carnival Goku as a floater. You can put in anyone else in that floater position. So again, if you look at this team versus like the Bardock team, right, it's going to be very similar. You can run literally the same rotation you can see here on the Bardock team as you can on the Yamcha team as well, right? But Yamcha can run Orange Piccolo, and LROP is still the best global unit in the game at this point in time. So coming in number 10 is the one that basically is the only change really in this spot here, and that is the Earthbred Fire Saiyan Saga with Earthlings and Turtle School. Dokkan Festival exclusive Yamcha. So everything else is pretty much the same, so I'll just quickly go through it, give you guys some other highlights. Cooler did have, you can say, upgrade or an additional unit in there that you could run in a floater position or even main rotation if you like, and that is the EZA to the Bojack, right? So this is the, I won't say the only team, but one of the teams I did already merge. So I did merge the physical 200% Wicked Blank Cooler onto this. So in a sense, we're just looking at this as a cooler team here. And of course, you can run this team on red zones in various different stages, and you are going to wreck shop. And this is by far the best extreme team in the game. There's no question about it. However, there are 8 other teams that are just better, that are super class. Even though this is the top of the top when it comes to extreme class on global at this point in time. I'm not even seeing in the future if JP is having like better extreme teams, but Cooler still is holding strong on top. So that's number 9. Nothing changed there. Is STR Cooler or LR Cooler, Final Form Cooler. And then coming number 8 is Dragon Ball Saga Youth Exploding Rage with Dragon Ball Seekers Bond of Friendship, Kid Goku. Kid Goku is just fantastic. It's just one of these units where, if you play it right, you get enough orbs, rainbow orbs, you're going to be good to go. And the bend strength for this team is getting better, of course, with Exploding Rage and the God Coup that's on here. But generally speaking, still is, kind of on the bottom rung of the top tier. Even though it is a top tier team, it's down here on the 8th spot here. Now the coming number 7 is the First Movie Heroes team. This is where I would say still a lot of people tell me, yeah, you might as well just merge this with other Movie Heroes teams, and that makes sense here. But because this has joined forces, it could do something that other Movie Heroes teams can't do, and that's run LRGG on the team along with other Movie Heroes, right? So that does give it a slight advantage, even though it's only running at 170%. LRGG running in that first spot at 170%, maybe even 150%, isn't really going to take all that much damage. So coming in number 7 spot, again, no changes here, is this Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta. So still at number 6 is going to be the God Coup here. Still a very, very fun unit. I have him better off running in one of the main rotations versus both, because having a 200% Carnival Goku and 200% EZA AGL Gohan is a massive advantage in a rotation. And then when you're looking at, if you want to run it in both rotations, you can easily split that top rotation up and then just run it in a double rotation there, and then you can have like Kid Goku as a floater. Great support with the EZA Bardock and the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. Very strong support units there along with it. So going into the top 5, again, another team that a lot of people have already criticized me and said, just go ahead and add this to the number 1 spot with Orange Piccolo, which we already know that's the number 1 spot, because if you have Orange Piccolo, you're not going to run this team. As you can see here, you're going to run 2 Orange Piccolos. But I do mention, hey, it is Hybrid Saiyans on here that gives an advantage on building teams. Like you can run the AGL EZA Gohan on here, where you can't do that on the Orange Piccolo team. But of course, Orange Piccolo, you have 2 Orange Piccolos. So there are some differences with that little bit of Hybrid Saiyans where you can run better support units. So that's the reason why there is a little bit of advantage of the overall team. However, of course, Gohan is nowhere near the strength and the broken unit of Orange Piccolo. So coming in at number 5 is the Beast, no, I should not say Beast Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, not Beast Gohan, in the number 5 spot. So diving into the 4-1 spot here, and you're looking at the Gods. LR Gods is still a fantastic overall unit. I love this team. It's probably one of my favorite teams to run, even though I only have them in the 4th spot. Because Power Beyond Super Saiyan Movie Heroes and Kamehameha is a really large breadth of options and bend strength, so they do very good. Of course, you could run Orange Piccolo in a 170% spot here, and just a lot of other diversity within the different types of combinations you can run. So Very, very good bench strength. And it's tough for me to put him in the number 4 spot because number 3 is going to be very similar because it is movie heroes as well. But still, the options, I would say Gamma, which is the number 3 spot here. Gamma is better. Gamma 1 especially is better than the movie heroes with the LR gods. So coming number 3 then is movie heroes artificial life forms. Again, this I did another team that I did merge with Gamma 1, Gamma 2. Virtually they can run the same team here, and in a sense I did put these as the rotations. Of course you can run way different rotations, like something like this here, or Orange Piccolo on top, of course, is probably going to be your best bet. But this is a really, really strong team, being that once you build up Gamma 1, Gamma 2 and they support, you can basically have a triple support team with a 200% Orange Piccolo, a 200% Carnival Goku, and Godku. Hey, you can't go wrong with that. So coming number 3 is Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and the best movie heroes teams that you can run is this team right here. So coming number 2, for me, LRGG is the number 2 spot. They lock up that number 1, that first position, so strong there. That is kind of a detriment, being that you know, they're not as good or nearly as good in the other spots, so the versatility might not be there. But locking up that number 1 spot and first position is really strong. The bench strength is a lot weaker than the movie heroes, so there is an argument that, you know, this team could be in the number 3 or number 4 spot and have movie heroes be on the number 2 spot. But I guess once I merge the teams, I would say movie heroes is going to be either 1 or 2, and then this would drop probably the number 3 spot here, because of the overall bench strength and flexibility. But still, man, it's just so hard to say LRGG isn't the second best you know, unit in the game. Thus having 2 of them, being able to run that, gives us that super high advantage on there. So coming number 1, of course, like I mentioned, nothing's changed too much, is Orange Piccolo, because you can run 2 on the team and because it's the best unit of the game. Still right now in global, it's hard to not run this. So, and put this as the number 1 spot. Different variations you can run as well. Of course, this team right here is, I feel like, it's just almost unkillable at times. But Pandas get hit if, you know, she gets hit and gets crushed and not dodge, there might be in trouble there. But of course, Orange Piccolo is just too strong, and LRGG on the team as well. Your first position is just locked up. You're good to go. So in summary, again, this is this shorter video here. If you want more details about the other teams, of course, go to the previous video, and I highlighted a lot more and talk about those teams a lot more here. But this is a sub 15-minute video for best teams, given that, of course, not too many changes. So this is the new top 10 here, with the Yamcha spot taking the number 10 spot here. And I guess with the great merge, when that happens, you'll be able to decipher a little bit more on what we're going to have in the top 10 and have a few more spots be highlighted versus just having, you know, 3 teams of movie heroes highlighted and 2 teams of superheroes highlighted. I understand the discussion there, but I do tell you guys why I do split them up, because you have joined forces as another category there. You do have accelerated or artificial life forms, and then versus power beyond Super Saiyan, things like that, and then hybrid Saiyans with Gohan versus Battle Wits with Piccolo. There are some differences where I can split them up, but the great merge will come sooner or later. Probably before the anniversary, but especially in the anniversary, we're gonna have to do the great merge. So anyway, with that, hopefully you guys enjoy this this video here, this version of the top 10. So if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Oops, wrong one. So thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time. Later.